Minnie Goes Ape is a very jungle-centric episode of Mickey Mouse Funhouse. The gang are all exploring this jungle scenery because there happens to be this young ape in their basket, and they realize that they need to deliver this ape back to its parent, so they go into Funhouse, and Funhouse transforms them or transports them into a jungle environment. And it's all about the different kinds of nature and animals and plants that they interact with along the way. The actual narrative itself, I think, was interesting enough. They were caring for this ape. It could teach children about the relationships between a young animal and its mother, and the fact that this young ape would need its mother, and the young ape was indeed pining for its mother. Um, but it's also a nice way to introduce young children, perhaps introduce, to the jungle environment and the things that they can expect to see there. Um, Definitely educational in that regard, but it did feel more like an adventure story rather than an educational short, which is absolutely fine. I found with Funhouse that some of them are really educational, it's got quite complex vocabulary or really strong moral messages. This one, that's not so much the case. It is an adventure story that they can become emotionally invested in. I thought it was well animated. I didn't think it was particularly unique or exciting, whereas the second segment that aired as part of this episode, Dino Doggies, I thought was much better well developed and much more interesting. But that doesn't mean that Minnie Goes Ape isn't very good. I just didn't think it was quite as strong. So for me as a Disney fan, it didn't really do much for me. I didn't really think the characters were presenting anything particularly interesting. But for the target audience, I can see it being a fun and engaging adventure story that may encourage them to learn more about the jungle. Definitely, it's not a bad segment.